microphone so they can hear you, okay?
Just heard us both say
yeah, it is the final. Good luck, guys. Obviously, we've had the last 2 years, we've had Rastley, we've had Simeon, so it's gone to a Warlord every time. So it's not Warlords this time. You two had the chance. Blew it. What?
Gets it. No.
Nobody has been barefoot now. It's gone. Seriously, guys, good luck. Just try and have a fun game. When I've been looking around today, I ain't really seen any sad faces or anything, which is really good. It's obviously sort of a bit of the spirit in there. Just have a laugh, enjoy it. Hopefully, we won't have any judge calls.
As many balls as you can.
Yeah. Put as many balls as you can. Me and Tim would also like to say as quick as you can, because we're tired.
Me too. I'm happy to final salvo.
So back forward.
Seriously, guys, have a great game. Good luck. Obviously, may the best man win. Same as previous years. Obviously, the winner and all that. I'll get an alt art drawn of said winner. We'll discuss it at a later date. That will be one of next year's entry cards. But seriously, guys, good luck, and obviously, you know, we've smashed it on a great weekend so far. I think just short of $4 grand for race, which is absolutely fantastic.
How much did you get?
When all the money comes in, we're at about £3,905, I believe. But that is.
Thanks, Carl.
But that is as well. The last 2 years, all of the expenses I've been out of pocket myself, and I've not took it back. I just can't afford to do it, so I have taken it back this year. So had I not done that, it would have been sort of six and a half. So we would have really done absolutely fantastic, and I genuinely can't thank them enough. That's why I was saying yesterday. All jokes aside, not to thank me or whatever, but I'd do it for you guys. I don't really play the game that often anymore, but I do love organising the events, I do love being here, I do love seeing everyone. You know, again, it's a different venue this year to where we normally do. That doesn't matter to me, it's still the same people, it's still the same community, and everybody has a really good time. And that to me is the most important bit. So please try and show it in the game and have a great game, and just good luck to the winner. Shake your hand now, or? Good luck, guys, good luck. I'll get behind you with Sam, we'll start the clock.
I'll start it now, okay? Good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Have fun.
And you, Dan. Dan, you'll go first.
I'm going first.
Would you like to move Ajaku?
Yep. Here we go. We're going. Right, let's do it. He's doing a one
Go,
forward.
go, he's doing a one forward.
And he's going to focus.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have you sit there because I've been having some. Everybody else has been sitting here. Okay, so we also got a Twitch Prime subscription from The Real Alaf. Thank you for that. We're up to 15. So my promise of stripping off if we got 40 is probably not going to be it's probably not going to come through. But anyway, let me take this. Okay. So I'm obviously joined by Carl Walker. Carl Walker, give us a little wave.
Hello everyone.
There he is. Okay, he's going to be joining us for commentator. This is his baby, and it's kind of full circle because we go back to June 2016 when I first bumped into you and you told us all about the plans you had.
Yes.
And just the legacy you've created since then. So there's so much to talk about, but obviously we've already gone through it several times this weekend. What we will say is the Nerf Herder this year is run in support of the Royal Hull Infirmary, the Children's Ward, to buy some new toys for the sick children that are there. Anything you can give in the last few minutes will be greatly received. Let me just put up on the screen the methods we have for donating, which you can see down the bottom right. You can donate through PayPal to nerfherder@yahoo.com. You might even see some of these trickle in YouTube later on from YouTube. Or Twitch Prime this weekend. Every single Twitch Prime subscription I receive will be going straight to the same charity. Okay. Moving over to the main screen, we've got Dan Slob. Slobodian, from Stockport, UK. He's playing the Jakku Gunrunner, Palob Godalhi with L337, Moldy Crow and Forlom, advanced sensors, and Cavill with dorsal turret, proton torpedoes, Astromech, and Han Solo. I'm not 100% sure on what L337 does as a crew. You any idea?
I'm not sure myself, actually.
Let's get that handy card browser up out of the app. What's that? I got some sort of a. Okay.
Yeah, the official app is fantastic.
For that, at least.
Yeah. Do you know what? Anyone that's sort of complaining, for me, it does everything I want it to do.
It works fine on a mobile phone. It had its problems. It's still not perfect, but for me, I'm just thankful that we finally got a unified system that allows me to do stuff like I did yesterday.
Which
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy to talk about.
Yeah. I've talked about it enough, don't worry about that. Search L337 as a pilot and a crew.
So haven't they brought it up as
I've just got 2 pilots.
pilots, yeah. Maybe that's not that good.
Maybe I've made a mistake. Maybe the list output's wrong. Let's have a look. If we go new squad, they're probably shouting us on the chat on the chat. It allows you to force your opponent to re-roll all his dice once. Okay, so it's kind of like an old school inverted Han Solo.
As we're saying that, Bob D's just sent me it in the background as well.
Yeah. The real Larif was our Twitch Prime subscriber. So yeah, those Twitch Prime subscriptions are free money. As an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get free tokens to give out to streams every month. Any Twitch Prime subscribers that we receive this weekend will be going straight towards that charity, and I'll explain to you a little bit how that's broken down. So we've seen Adam Shipley play in the last round and come down to the wire, and we saw Dan play in the round previous and come down to the wire as well. Last minute swings in the game, what's really made it a win for them. It's been a long road, but now we've come to the final, and 2 local players.
Yes.
Yeah. Dan being local to Stockport here, and Adam playing over in Liverpool at the Just Play community. So yeah, we're definitely doing really well for the local meta.
Just wanted to say there, one of the things I'd like to say is, obviously I just mentioned that I'm not sure if people could hear when we were talking to the players, we are just short of £4,000 what we've raised so far. Bob D, one of the local guys here, fantastic. He always makes a donation. He's donated the last 2 years, but yet he's been unable to attend. He's just messaged me privately now and said he's happy for me to be quite honest about it, really. And he's just said whatever short we have, the 4,000, he'll make that up.
Yeah, cool.
So massive thank you to Bob D on that one.
And then once again, if you are watching this later, you can still, any time later, you can still send money through the Nerf Herder PayPal account.
Yes.
And that will go directly, if not to the Royal Hull Infirmary. Think that next year we will be supporting the Ashley Taylor Kidney Foundation.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Ashley's a little star in our community.
She's become well known over the last 2 years.
Yeah, definitely. As part of the auction yesterday, I bought the light up Defender for her. She flies Defenders, she loves Defenders, so she's got her own little light up Ryad now. On top of that, there's a guy in the community, Owen Appleton, who did an old art for her.
True, 100%.
Yeah, he's redone it for me for the second edition, so I had 72 of those printed off as well with Nerf Herder on the back. So
cool.
She's been quite excitedly giving them out today, which is fantastic.
Awesome.
She's got a lovely little smile. It's lovely to see.
Yeah. So this is the bit that always stumps me when discussing Ashley is I can never remember the name of the condition she has.
I don't know myself.
Yeah, but basically the sum of it is that both of her kidneys have failed, and she's got no kidneys, and she has to spend a large sum of her time on dialysis. And this is these contributions are basically. I did this at the UK System Open as well. I also mentioned it, and they got quite a lot of money out of a crowdfunding that came from that after that as well. It's she's got no kidneys. She spends a lot of her time on dialysis, and the money is basically to go along to getting her as much treatment and the best possible treatment. As to be clear, so we understand, her father Lee Taylor is a very prominent figure within the Warlords community. In the last year and a half, the Warlords have become a very prominent part of the UK meta as well. And
well done, European.
Well, yeah, obviously worldwide as well. This is basically just so you understand why they are so close and why everyone is so aware of what's happening. Is that when you talk about the Warlords, everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah.
So we're already starting. We've got 3 hits and a focus, makes 4. Well, a crit. This is going to be a proton torpedo then, from Cavill, and gets an evade and a focus.
The other person you're talking about, is it full on?
So I'm guessing this was on the green Jakku Gunrunner. Spends a focus and takes hit and a crit. And that's a weapons failure.
good little system, that.
It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. It's one of the very interesting things that we were talking about yesterday when we were speaking, when you just got to show them the stats for the tournament. It's fantastic to see. It's the 3rd year I've run it, and obviously I've never known anything. I do have an interesting question to ask you about it, actually, in relation to the software.
Well, let's wait until we get back to darts, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, so hit crit, and evade blank, focus blank, spends focus, gets free evade, so no damage there.
Okay, my threes.
Now, Dan firing with Palob on the Jakku Gunrunner as well. From range 3, gets 2 and a focus, spends the focus for free, and Adam rolls blank focus, blank evade, so it takes 1. 4 lom. At range 2. 2 hits and a blank. No, it looks like a hit and a focus and a blank. Repeats with the target lock, gets hit, crit, crit.
Really good dice. That's a crack. Yeah, seriously, they're really good.
And rolls 1 evade, so takes 2 crits. That's a full leak.
After you suffer a crit. Yeah, so you suffer the crit and then take the damage.
Okay, so that one's the crit.
That's the crit.
And that's a panics pilot. It's a double stress, but the chip's off the board, so it makes no difference here.
Both going all guns blazing to start with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kind of like you guys kind of say, let's finish it quickly. So they're going, well, it's just yeah. I kind of agree. Let's finish it quickly. They've come as far as they have. They're not used to getting to this sort of a prestigious stage, and they're just kind of like they're having so much fun. Just figure why not.
Definitely.
Awesome. So Palob, just gonna have a look at that. So range 3. On the Jakku.
Palob firing on Jakku Gunrunner. Adam's Palob gets 2 hits after spending a focus, and there's a blank and evade, and looks like another one, so no damage.
Good dice. My Jakku then. Range.
Is that range 2?
Yeah, Jakku Gunrunner firing on Jakku. Gets hit focus, 1, and that's evaded.
And so I'll do the same thing back.
And we got,
Same shot back,
yeah,
I believe.
and the same.
Sorry. Good,
Okay.
good dice there.
And that's when they go back to dance. So what were you going to say?
So the previous 2 years I've always done the format as Hanger Bay. So
Yeah.
you bring 2 lists. So your software, how would that work then if people was to take 2 lists, or would it maybe make it fall apart?
What, for that, for the registration thing?
Because one of the most interesting
It
things
would,
I found.
yeah, it would probably not work as. I mean, I could probably make a system that does it, but as doing that sort of a format is something that's a bit more of an exception as opposed to a rule. Whether or not it's really worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, we've done it in the last 2 years. The reason I opted to not do it this year with 2.0 being so new, I thought people are still going to learn in the game almost. There's still quite a lot out there for people to learn and understand. So to then have 2 lists as well, it could have been a bit of a nightmare, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, just looking through the history. Cool. Nothing changed there. So yeah, kind of obviously, being as how most tournaments you take 1 list for the whole tournament, it works really well in that sort of situation. The problem is that if you want to try and get stats with people taking 2 lists, is that what's one of the most common things about the Hanger Bay format is that most people just turn up with 1 list and then some other dumb list that they don't intend on playing ever. So yeah, it's not most people, I should say, but there's definitely a contingent of it where people just can't be bothered to have so much silliness going on.
Yeah. It was good to see, as I say, your statistics yesterday. So things like saying 50 X-Wings is the most common ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Proton Torpedoes the most common upgrade.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even thought either of those would have been there, if I'm honest.
No, yeah, but what it is that there were very few rebels, but it means basically that rebels all were very heavily influenced in that direction of taking X-Wings with Proton Torpedoes. And once again, rebels being one of the less represented factions with like 29%. Yeah, 29%. And yet, at the same time, the most common, we have 5 people that took 3 X-Wings.
Yeah.
So like that means basically like X-Wings were like a really common list as far as rebels are concerned. And even that compared to the Boba Forlom Palob combination that's so popular right now.
Yeah.
There weren't really that many of them. And I like that statistic as well, where I've got the archetypes, where it shows you the ships and how many of that type, regardless of pilots, how many of that ship, that format of list have appeared. Because at times, for example, like back when in spring when we were going through the system opens and everyone was like, there are so many Lothal Fens. Sometimes it can be a bit of a perception problem that people just think there are so many Lothal Fens, you know, and being able to see that and being able to say, look, even though the Scum were like 41% of the field, with the highest faction share by far, they weren't the most. There wasn't one common list that was predominantly used. They had the Forlorn Bobber Palob that 4 people used, and then they had a Guri Bobber format that 3 people had used, but 5 triple X-wing lists existed on the Rebels. Within the Rebel share.
Serious thinking right now.
Yeah. And so with the winner obviously gets an alt art card made for the next edition of the tournament.
Yes.
Will you still be using the same artist, or are you open to
the first year we did it? I used Paul LaRue. I did quite a lot with Paul LaRue. For last year's, obviously, which was Simeon, it was Bartosz. He's a Polish guy. Absolutely fantastic artwork. But yeah, I've not got anybody set in stone. It has to be. So if there are people out there that want to reach out to me that can do great work, I'm more than happy to listen and speak to people. At the end of the day, it's just about getting the best possible card. I was hoping with the robot card that I did for Simeon, we've put all 4 robots in one picture. I was hoping to get them spread out a bit more, so we could have made it into 4 cards. But then that would have been 4 pieces of art, which would have been quite an expensive outlet.
Absolutely.
So we stuck to the one, condensed them all down, but it would have been nice to have included one with everybody's entry cards, and then for the other 3 to complete the full art picture, they could have made a small donation of say £5, which would have covered the printing costs and a little bit extra for the charity as well, which was my initial intentions. But I mean, initially when I'm doing things, I'm always looking for the way that I can add the most items almost that people can pick up and buy on the day, just to try and help raise money. Thankfully this year, I mean, the auction was fantastic with so many really good donations on the day. It's been a fantastic event.
Cool. And obviously, like you say, if there's any artists out there that they do want to reach out, anything is possible at this stage, and there's lots to be done as well. And every little help is greatly received.
Definitely. I mean, if anybody is on it's really easy to find the Facebook page, which is Nerf with a Vengeance. There are only 2 admins on it, which is myself and Tim King from Element Games. So, but you can see me on there, no problems. If anybody wants to contact me, I'm more than happy to speak to people.
Or just search Carl Walker. If you're watching this video, you're probably members of an X-Wing group, and searching Carl Walker should show up.
Yeah, you should do. Quite a common name though.
Yeah, but like you say that, but it's like I say, it's like if you're on X-Wing groups, it tends to favour people you've got some sort of a connection with. And so if you're on X-Wing groups, and if the person you're on X-Wing groups, and if you are a person that's also on X-Wing groups, you search Carl Walker, it's almost likely you're going to show up with Carl Walker.
So would you like to
with this Carl Walker?
There'll definitely be a Carl Walker.
And you've got some very pretty ships yourself, don't you? For when you play.
I have. Rasta did some fantastic ships for me last year. I'm a police officer. And I wanted. We all wear badges on our body armour, which is a black and white Union Jack with a thin blue line on it. And that's the Thin Blue Line charity for officers that have been injured on duty. So I wanted something to represent that. So Rasta did me 3 ships. He did full colour Union Jacks with a thin blue line on, but the custom work that went into them was fantastic. He put my collar number on all those ships.
And a wounded pilot.
He did my collar number as in my officer number, and my initials in Arbrecht, which was fantastic. I got a YT 2400, an ARC, and can't remember what bed ship was now.
K-wing maybe?
K-wing, it was a K-wing,
2 damage onto Dan's Jakku Gunrunner.
Okay, so then we'll go for
a proper crash going on here. gets 3 hits.
He's dead, so I'll roll for fun.
And the Jakku Gunrunner,
Is he definitely dead?
Yeah, of course he definitely does, yeah.
that's a Panic Pilot again, and that's a structural damage. I think. I'm still a bit rusty on some of them.
So Caleb then.
Are those on the cards normally then, or have you put those on?
I've put those on.
Ah.
Yeah.
So Caleb will range 2 onto your Caleb then.
And 2 hits and a blank on Palob. Spends a focus to evade 1 and takes a shield.
Some blanks.
Sorry, man.
Just 1 or 2.
Sorry, man. I have had really good dice.
I'll try the Gunrunner
Yeah.
again.
Excuse me. An extra dice, range 1.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
3 and a focus. 1 evade, so takes 2.
So the Gunrunner then. Shoot Caleb, range 1.
Stays alive for now. Fires back 1 hit and takes the damage.
Okay.
Palob now without shields.
Will pass my stress to Caleb.
And that's that. They go back to
Downs,
Downs.
yeah. Interesting to see what they both do next turn. It's going to be a bit messy.
And obviously Bobber being a huge power player in this list for Adam, getting in there at range 1 makes things particularly easy for him. But the question is, he's not really been able to take any of the ships off the board on Dan's side of the table. So right now getting into range 1 is the issue.
There's been an awful lot of paint rolled on those green dice when they've been rolled.
Yeah, absolutely.
How have you found the games today then? That you've been
Today's games have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy when you're in the top to try and pick out exciting games.
Yeah.
Because you can see the people, you can see the factions, you can see the lists. When you're in the Swiss, it's a bit more difficult because I've only got names to go off.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like looking in the top 10 because otherwise there's so many tables as well. I just stick to the top 10 tables and just pick someone from there. Rather than spend ages going through it all.
Yeah.
And it becomes and so yeah, you can get some pretty boring games in the Swiss, but yeah, today they've all been really swingy. In the last couple of minutes, it's changed hands, and it's been really exciting in that respect.
Yeah, I have seen a few frustrated faces in the top cut. It's been fantastic. Obviously, in the background we've had 4 pods of 8 players that have all returned for the second day to continue to play games. There's obviously the Keyforge event going on, so the hall's been just as full, if not fuller, than it was yesterday.
Okay, and your Caleb.
My Paleb's going to be about here, so
3 bank.
yeah.
Okay, so let's mark everybody.
Right, so Palob is going to 2-turn to the right.
I'm not going to touch anything. Just pretty easy, just one person doing it. I'll mark on this side.
Yeah, can I borrow 1 from you? Okay, let's just move them out of the way.
Oh, free bank.
Pop it in.
It's one way to get out of there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Avoid the smash.
Rotate the arc
I'll try and get it in without making that.
and still get some range 1 shots.
Fine, it's close enough to where it should be.
Very nice.
And Bobber can basically bump if he wanted to.
I was expecting a hard 3 from, or a hard 2 even from Bob, to be fair, to avoid the crash. But yeah, Bobber, I would imagine that would be a nice 1 straight, clear that stress.
And just pound the other ships that are around 1 behind whatever it was he bumped against.
He's taken a target lock with him. Not changed his arc.
Yeah.
Focus and turn my arc.
Here we go.
There we go.
Arc facing rearwards.
Cavalry's doing the 1 bank. Clear stress. And he'll target lock. Okie dokie.
Which?
Go back.
Bobber.
Bobber's just going to slide forward.
Yep.
Yeah, as expected.
One straight bumps against the Jakku Gunrunner, giving him an excellent range 1 shot on Palob to just delete him off the table.
Yes, so I will steal Caleb's
Yeah,
focus
could be
I
interesting.
quite like that, so I'm going to have it back. This one, I'm going to
Bobber.
offer some stress to Cavil.
In that case, you can have calculator.
Triple zeros, and to get a focus token,
So,
Cavill refuses to get stressed.
I'm gonna.
Han gives him a focus token anyway. And Cavill fires 3 dice, 3 hits after spending a focus token.
One dodge.
1 evade, so takes 2.
1, 2.
Okay.
Palob stays. What? No, that was against Bobber, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was against Bobber.
What? Cavill? Oh no, Cavill was using his arc, his turret.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Focus token, yeah, I'm going to have 1 shift on that as well.
Okay. Han solos, Bobber. And looks like a bunch of focuses are hitting a crit. 2 focuses hit a crit, makes 3 and a crit. Blank means he takes. This is on Cavill? I didn't. The crit was a direct
Yeah, it's
hit,
Cavil, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do my.
and Cavill goes down to half points.
Range 1 into your payload.
2 blanks and a hit. Terrible rolls from Dan this turn around. And
Yeah.
well, it makes no difference. 1 gets through, Palob gets off the table.
Yeah, range 2 into Boba.
Shall we put the damage next to him?
Yeah. So range 2 into Boba.
Yep.
And Boba Fett takes his first attack with focuses. 2 hits. And
That's what they're here for.
evades 1, rerolls for his ability, evades 2. So Boba is the undamaged. Palob gets his return shot for mutual fire,
Into the Jakku.
mutual destruction. Firing on Jakku Gunrunner to take him off the board and clear a bit of space for Boba to come through. Gets a focus, so 2 damage go through, and Jakku Gunrunner explodes into a ball of flame.
I don't have anything left, so I'll take that away, take that away, take that away, and I'll take that away, that away, and that's yours.
So Boba to solo, Cavill, it's already down to 3 hit points, Forlom and a Palob Godalhi, which is what we just saw in the last match, pretty much. It was a Jakku Gunrunner instead of Palob. But yeah, Forlom, Jakku Gunrunner and Cavill basically soloed by Boba Fett in the last round by Adam. And a lot to play for still. That Boba Fett can get into that range 1 knife fight, and with those rerolls and the focus from Han Solo and 000, will be definitely something that's going to cost a lot of effort from Dan to be able to take down.
Got a real life legend stood behind you at the moment.
We do. Do we?
I'm not here.
No, he's not here. He's not here. He's not here. Yeah, hey, it's not one of my streams if you don't show up, isn't it?
I'm not here.
No,
I'm not here.
no, he's not here. When was the last time I had a stream where you didn't show up? Italian Open. There you go.
My own country.
I was going to say, you returned to your home stopping grounds, you didn't
Eh?
go.
That dirty French stop out, Dale Cromwell, went over to my house and ate pasta in my bedroom. How dare he? Next year,
How dare
the
he.
Rasta's coming home.
Did he send you a photo?
He didn't.
I would have loved to have
'Cause
seen Dale in your bedroom. With nothing on.
Is this looking pretty one-sided?
No, because we saw this in the last match. We saw Adam with a similar situation. We had Boba against Forlom Cavill, who was down to like a couple of hit points, and a Jakku Gunrunner, and pretty much swing the match back into his favour in the last few minutes. So Cavill's, I think, already used his torpedoes. No, he's still got 1 left. So that's going to be the risk here, whether or not the torpedo manages to get enough. Proton.
But he's not in a position to launch.
Not right now. He's not target locked. He's not. He's stressed. He's facing the wrong direction.
Do you want me to get this thing out the bottom?
Thank you very much. Perfect. Close the stress. Then Forlom is going to advanced sensors.
Forlom target locks with advanced sensors,
It's red.
and Tard turns to the left.
Calculate. Careful.
Surely Bobber's just going to go one forward, Bobber, you know, hand solo gunner, light up forward.
Well, that's what he did last turn. The question is, what's Palob going to do? Because he doesn't. Well, maybe he'd be able to get rear arc on Palob, or he doesn't really want to bump against Forlom here. He wants to bump against Palob. Oh no, because Palob's already moved. Sorry. Yeah.
So, start combat.
So yeah, it was the one straight
one straight bumped.
Stress aimed at Cavill.
You can calculate. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So, Cavill. I'm gonna range 1 dorsal at you.
So range 1 dorsal turret from.
See what's being set up here, though.
Yeah.
It's going to give Bobber the stress.
Yeah.
And then 4K. And Bobber's caught in a loop where he can't get shots. This could be bad.
So hit, crit, crit. 2 evades, takes 1.
Range 1.
I've only got one choice.
Hang on a minute.
I'm moving ever again. So. No, actually, you have to move.
So he's wondering whether or not he's going to hand. He's going to use hand solo.
Yeah, because that's your only shot, isn't it? So, yeah, why not? Why not?
So he does.
Double stress.
Takes, gets a hit, a blank, 2 focus, spends the focus for 4 blank. Forlom takes 4 damage. Shields are gone.
So, no shot for me. End of the round.
No, passes stress to Bobber. And they go back to Dars.
What's that one?
Goes away. Can hand be used if you're already stressed, hand crew?
No,
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think it's like an action.
So either.
Check out the swanky new app.
I don't use it now. It doesn't work.
It does work.
Not for me, it don't.
Nothing makes feel.
I work. You use launch bay.
Launch bin next.
Yeah, that one. Oh, that's anti.
Well, you know, we're not playing 1.0 anymore, Master.
No, I know. I was good at that.
I know you was. I know. Beat by an 11-year-old I heard yesterday.
200 mil, mate. Smash me all around the table.
There's some very nice words said about you on Facebook about that.
Don't do Facebook anymore.
He
A good place for all of that.
the father tagged you in to say what a great day his son had had. And he said that his son had said, what was your favourite part? And he said, playing Master Mace. And he said, why? And he said, because he was very friendly. And he said, but I thought you said everybody friendly. He said, everybody was friendly, but Rasta was extra friendly. And that's what his little boy had said about you. So that was some kind words put about you on the UK community page.
Same as before, when you're ready.
He was a good lad. I spoke to him a few times. I asked him if he's calling everybody a bully. That's what I told him to do.
They all bully you.
I said, if everyone's
I'm
like
the only person not to bully you.
yeah, I think so.
Oh, a bunch of idiots.
James
That's the
Finlayson.
future.
James Finlayson smashed him in the second round. I said, are you a bully? And he went, I've got a heart stirred, it's not going to work on me.
They're the future.
Of course they are. Of course. Well, look at Sim so many years ago.
They're the future. We have to not crush them.
Just beat them lightly.
I believe the children of the future.
The world is in a massive change at the moment. If we're not careful, I mean, look at toy shops closing down. play with toys. They don't do that anymore.
No.
Okay.
2K.
No, what they do now is they watch videos on YouTube of people playing games. That's the weird thing. They don't play the games. They watch videos of people.
Yeah, that's the worst one.
I don't mind them recording themselves and putting it up. They just watch videos of people watching games.
And then they come along going, yeah, no, I know this game, and it's like,
Well,
you're not touched
you
it.
need to be unstressed for hand solo.
Right.
They
Yeah.
perform a red focus action.
Yeah. I mean, it's an action anyway, so you can't do an action.
That's what I want to show. I want to show if it was an action or if it was a you could take a focus, receive a stress.
Free bank.
So free banks. It's
My-
white, so he's going to not remove any stress. Huh.
Taking the risk and just getting out of there.
Yeah. He's got, I mean, he got ballsy last game where he just didn't make any effort to try and escape when he was winning the game.
Yeah.
And took a proton torpedo and risked everything for it.
Where's the Hawk's Arc?
The Hawk's Arc is currently to port. Left.
I couldn't see if it was pointing back.
No, you can tell it's not pointing back. So you can see the curve on the back, unless he's placed it really poorly.
It was because it was the Palab on Palab shot the 10 before.
Yeah.
And because he's bumped, he's not been able to turn it since.
Panel undamaged,
Yeah.
Cavill's nearly dead though.
Cavill is close, but then Cavill was the same last turn and still managed to get last game and still managed to get off his torpedo, which basically was what put the game in risk for Adam. So Boba Fett.
Cavill's got what, 3 to go. Can't shoot 4 more. Check the range on Halo out of curiosity. Is it range which one?
Yep.
I can do 4 dice, 3 rerolls, no tokens. Or 3 dice, 3 rerolls,
It's tense.
Yeah.
no tokens. Okay.
3 warlords in the finals, Leicester. Not one of them's brought the belt back for you. Not one of them's brought the belt back for
There's a
you.
lot of things to think about.
So I'll make do with the 2 I got.
Halo's total health is
2 shields and 3 core.
It took a warlord to knock him out.
It's a fantastic trophy cabinet you have, I must admit.
Jeff is very little known.
4 hits. Spends the L337, I think it is, to L337 to make him re-roll those.
You get no more. We can't re-roll the re-roll, so.
So it's a config.
It's amazing. Leaks amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no shot from my pen.
almost
So
counter.
just fall on range 1.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Okay, so 3 hits. 4. Will focus makes 4. Takes both. All 4.
Is it an action to flip the card back? L337.
End of the round.
I don't know. I've got no idea. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with that card.
What leaked?
Yeah. As a crew, it's got flipped over and now it's a
It gets
config.
flipped over, but it only becomes active on the flip side when the carrier ship is shieldless.
Right.
So
Okay.
once the carrier ship becomes shieldless, it then enables the carrier ship to turn all its bank manoeuvres blue.
Okay. So it can't become elite again, no? That's
No,
it. It's one
that's
use.
it.
Yeah.
It's a one use
Okay.
for the reroll, but then the card flips, and once the Hawk loses its shields,
Uh-huh.
all of its banks are green or blue, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, you couldn't have used it at a better time to reroll 4 hits to 1 hit.
Hide you down from the camera.
Moves around the table.
It's game over. It's done.
It's pretty much an uphill struggle now.
It's done.
Yeah.
There's no out of this.
I love your positivity there.
I'm sorry, but I'm a realist. You know, as you know, a slightly more experienced player, you definitely get to a point.
I'm really down with the evading board style of that full fast.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Instead of you getting 4
Not
out
one
of
that
hand,
ever
you
really
get
concede a
knocked out
game, but I think we're close to that point at the moment.
As you look to where the crowd are on your camera, the majority of them actually just stood off.
They just
big
kind of
groups
spilled
today,
off, yeah. A couple of the Stockport guys still hanging around.
All you have to do is just chug off into the night now. There's nothing I can do about it.
And we're joined by 238 viewers on stream now.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you all very much for joining us. Once again, do please consider giving us a Twitch Prime subscription for this weekend. All Twitch Prime subscriptions will be going to the Nerf Herder charity for this tournament, which is the Royal Hull Infirmary Children's Ward. So Palob takes a 2-turn to the left. Target locks Bobber. Forlom 2 turns to the left as well. And Cavill hard 2s to the left.
Does he still have any torpedoes?
Not sure what he was thinking there with Forlom, to be honest. Is it?
No, I thought I would have one banked.
One back, you just take the shot. He's got enough health to weather it.
I think that's the thing that's going to kill me. There's nothing I can do.
Maybe not as over as you thought.
No, but he's bringing Cavill around to try and get that torpedo prepped. Bob, oh, okay.
He wants a good bit of distance.
He might just have a range 3 through a rock on Forlom. Yeah.
Range 3 through a rock.
That top is coming in next time.
Yeah. So rolls, gets 2 hits and a focus, re-rolls the focus for nothing, and Dan takes all 2 of them.
That's it, I think.
It was a shame he wasn't able to get any further damage on Cavill after that first attack where he did so much damage, because yeah, it's just going to be a situation where now the proton torpedo is what's going to kill him.
Yeah.
He's never going to be able to get into a position where he's going to be able to fire on Cavill again without having to take a torpedo in return.
Dan's just left the gaming area.
He's got to go toilet.
Nervous.
I'm going to go away. We've got an inappropriate joke I mustn't say.
What's the official time before we call him abandoning?
It's pretty done there, isn't it? The target lock's already there. For
I mean, Boba Fett's just basically kiting all these tokens along behind him. It's like there's nothing really he can do. I mean, he can fire on Forlom, maybe take him off the table, but he's not going to be able to take Cavill off without taking a torpedo as well.
No.
And being as how he's on 4 hit points right now, being able to kill Cavill and take a torpedo, it's going to be a long shot.
Yeah. What's on 4 whole points left? Yeah.
4 whole points on Boba, 3 on Cavill, 3 on Forlom, and Palob.
There's going to be
untouched.
A Palob hit as well, isn't there? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You've literally got to do 5 damage and you have 2
One of those moments, and it's really tense.
Yeah.
You can see where it's going to go, but it's still really tense.
Yeah.
1 straight to victory.
No, wait, I think I've got his hull wrong. I think he's actually got 5 hit points left. He only got 1 damage card.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, like, it's tempting at this point because it would save
The thing is, it all depends on how gutsy Dan is with Palabi. If it goes too fast,
Yeah.
personally, because of the angle that Bob was on, he'd be better off with a 2 or 3. Didn't want to go too slow.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Bob does a 3 kite again.
I don't want to drive payload onto a rock as well.
How are you finding 2.0 then?
It's cool. It's different, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
for example, when X-Wing took off, the main thing that everyone said about it that helped it take off was that, like, it's so simple.
Yeah.
And then come the combo wing,
Yes.
and everyone's like, it's not so simple anymore.
No.
And 2.0 has just basically said, yeah, the slightly more complicated way of playing the game is something that's going to stay. Yeah, all this charges and bookkeeping and half points and stuff like that is something that's become a lot more. There's a lot more attention you have to give to the game.
Yeah.
The game state as opposed to just what you're doing and playing.
Yeah.
And so it makes it more difficult. And yeah, I mean, like X-Wing had its apogee in that period, in that just round about wave 4 time, when it was still a simple game.
Yeah.
You could pretty much show it to kids that were like 7 years old and they could grasp it. Now it's a bit more complicated to try and get other people interested in it. We were talking about it this morning that it's
Oh, look at that, it's got all the range.
yeah, for 1 turn. He's going to fire on Palob. Palob fires.
Nothing.
Who's firing first? This must be Palob.
Palob's the only one in range.
Yeah. But why is it? Oh, because Bob has not got arc. Takes another damage card.
We've got what, 3 left? 4 left?
Palob just kind of scratches him.
Remember that proton
to Dales.
Yeah, and now back to Dars, and
Yeah, I agree. It is sort of more complex now.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, the easiest way to pull people into the game is the sort of the love of the ships. Like Rasta said a minute ago, actually, you probably couldn't hit the nail any better. Younger people who play the games have grown up with. I know a lot of people don't like the prequel movies, but a lot of them have grown up with them. So to see the newest wave be announced. Jedi Starfighters. My cousin in particular, I mean, he's 5 years younger than me, but he loves them.
we discussed this yesterday. That it's like we were. Who was I discussing it with? David, I think. David Sutcliffe. That Lucasfilm and their licensing, and even though FFG had been quite clear in the past that they didn't want to go prequel era and stuff like that. It's basically a question of Lucasfilm just saying, look, we've got fans that are interested in this stuff. I know, like, it might be to other people, it might not be their Star Wars, but there are fans that are interested in it and want to see it. Like, for me, it was the longest time, everyone going on about the Arc, when's the Arc going to come out? And then it was like, it did. And it was like, oh well. You know, and I always, whenever anyone would say, I want to see the Arc, I was always like, what? It's horrible.
It is horrible. It is horrible.
Ugly ship, and I don't understand how it's supposed to be as good as an X. It's better than a Y-Wing, almost as good as an X-Wing. I don't get it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I do love the original trilogy. Don't get me wrong. But the prequels as well. You know, they're a part of my Star Wars history. And do you know what? I'd love to see a Naboo Starfighter in there.
Okay.
I'm out of range 1, it's guaranteed.
Is that tight enough?
No. He's in range 2 of Cavill, so he's receiving torpedo. The question is,
can he weather it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has he got a range? What can his re-roll from Palob be help him out? And he's still double stressed. So, goddamn.
On a 4 dice attack, where you
And
get
for Palob. Oh, what a roll.
4 hits with the focus, so he's rolling dice.
We'll do it properly.
Rolls 1, re-rolls for Bob's ability. Takes 3, and the crit might be the deciding factor here. 1, 2.
Is it direct hit?
It's a loose stabilizer.
The non-threat.
Now Boba returns fire.
So Cavill's on 3, and Palob's on 4.
He can't, even if he gets Cavill off the table, and
No.
Palob can just sink 1 damage on him. And 4 Lom's coming up behind as well. There's no way he can do this. Even if he manages to find some way to escape Arpica 4 it's like the turret on Palob's eventually going to put 1 damage card on him. Rerolls, I don't know what that was. Looks like he's got 3. 1's evaded, so takes 2. Cavill stays on the table. 1's a crit, and it's a disabled. It's weapons failure. So Cavill stays on the table for 1 more round.
Here comes the
Palob repeats, gets 2 hits, 2 focus.
game.
Thank you very much for joining me, Carl. That was a pleasure.
No problem. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm not chatting. I was just in games.
Oh, yeah, it was totally cool towards the end.
Do it again.
Best of 3. Guys, I was joking about the time. We might have to do best of 3.
Our first engagement was bonkers.
Yeah, I diced you off the board real hard there. Sorry, man.
That's alright. Okay, like after yesterday, when I came in a big net against him, I thought, oh, I'm a bit more compact, so I can't get broken up into like tiny little forces.
Congratulations, Adam.
Thank you very much, Simon.
Second place. Make sure you move yourself close to that.
There you go. I can see myself.
Yeah, it's cool, huh? And maybe your friends or family can see yourself, or at least later when you share the video. Yeah.
Much appreciated.
That last game, deciding to joust.
Yes. So me and Dan played each other yesterday in Swiss, and he beat me in Swiss.
Yeah.
And I tried in the Swiss game to spread my ships in like a wide net when I was going in for the joust.
Okay.
The first engagement, and he just sat back with forlorn, stayed perfectly still, passed his stress around, and plinked me from a distance. And there was nothing I could do about it because I couldn't jump on him. So I thought today I'll try it differently because it's the same thing. Set up for the joust, keep Bobber wide so he doesn't get picked on early days with Cavill, and try and come in at the right moment. And obviously I missed the right moment.
There was the one situation, like for example, Rasta was here at the time and commented on it, that you made them. Was it a mistake? Was it not a mistake when you used Han Solo when you had the range 1 attack on Forlorn, and obviously that meant that Forlorn would then pass the stress off to you, leaving you double stressed.
I know. Yeah.
That was the risk you had to take at that time, no? And that's basically what made it that game would just keep on going downhill from there. And it was a question of time. It's the same in your match beforehand.
Exactly.
It was just a question of time until Palob got that torpedo off and did enough damage to make it way too difficult for you to get back.
Yeah, exactly. Cavill and Proton Torps and Reload all combined, you have to get Cavill off the board. I knew I had to get Cavill off the board to stop him from doing that. So that's why I went after him. After we'd gone after the Gunrunner first, I wanted to take the Gunrunner out of my first engagement, which is why I got all 4 ships to target that. He just rolled fire, and I didn't touch the Gunrunner in that first engagement. I mean, Bobber did nothing, and then Palob did nothing, and my Gunrunner did nothing. So then I went after Cavill, got him down to 3 hull, but by that point I'd lost so much that it was just a case of I was splitting my fire, not by choice, but just. And then I don't know what you thought about the moment where he then used L337. It's just like, oh, I'll just roll 4 hits, and he'll go, no, you don't, and then I'll roll 1 hit, and he goes, yeah, you can't re-roll that now because you can't re-roll a re-roll, even if I've made you do it. Which I think is something that no one else has used. I haven't seen anyone else use that today, and that might be. Like, if he hadn't had that card, that ship is taking some serious damage.
Absolutely, that was a real game changer there as well. And it's like, what were you going to do against that? You know,
exactly.
you get the 4 hits changed into 1. It's kind of like Rasta once again was there, and he mentioned this kind of. It's a very good card. It's almost like an old countermeasures.
Yeah, exactly.
And just can just destroy one of your best rolls. That's what we saw.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure, as
Simon.
always. Good luck. I mean, we spoke to Adam. No, it's your Adam. Dan.
Dan, my opponent, the current Nerf herder winner, winner of the biggest charity event in the UK.
We spoke to Dan, and and we mentioned how like the Nerf herder comes with a prestigious legacy, and
legacy is bonkers for Nerf herder.
And even so, we've still got the fact that first year it was Cormac Higgins made the final, and he went on to do. Well, he's not won anything big, but he does very well.
Cormac, fair play to that guy. He's just forever making cuts.
And who was it made the final last year against Simeon?
I can't remember who Sim beat last year, but who Sim beat is a big list.
Yeah,
I played Sim twice. He's beaten me twice.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's why he's world champion.
Yeah, indeed. But are you going to be going to some of the European events next year, Simon?
I'm going to French National in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. Which, once again, for anybody that's in the south of England, getting to Paris is really not hard for you.
Easy.
It's really easy.
Jump on the train, London people.
You can leave work Friday afternoon and be in Paris before midnight. basically. If you
You
drive,
can get to
take the
Paris
ferry.
faster than I can get back to my house this evening.
Yeah, it's easier for South England to get to Paris than it is for me to get to Barcelona, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's a question of waiting to see. Right now, nothing's confirmed because obviously the Polish is the only event that was confirmed apart from the UK System Open. I fully intend to be at the UK System Open. That's true. It's something I've got to map out yet.
As do I.
Yeah.
Look out for me.
I have to try and work out the logistics of it, but yeah, I fully intend to be there. European Championships next year. I don't want to miss
Poland.
that for the world after last year, after missing this year. The rest of the Opens is a question of waiting to see when they get announced.
We'll
Obviously,
make him come to Italy, Italian people.
yeah, of course.
I was in Italy this year. I made day 2. It was the best time.
I'm 100% wanting to come back to Italy. It was an excellent time there. We've got one in Spain this year, so that makes things really easy for me. I get a cheap one. I get one where I only have to spend €50 for the weekends. It's like, yes.
No pressure, everybody. We just need to go to Milton Keynes, Paris, Bologna. Bologna.
Bologna.
Castel San Pietro Terme.
Yeah.
Spain and Poland.
Yep.
Have you all got that much vacation time? Because this guy has Patreon.
Thank you very much. We will just mention briefly, this weekend's been about the charity, so we've not mentioned it too much, but yes, it all comes from the fact that the money I get through Patreon goes straight into paying for the flights, and when it's not paying for flights, it's paying for accommodation, paying for petrol, paying for food when I'm there, and when I do get a couple of months rest, like I had the last couple of months, it got poured into improving equipment, stuff like that. Another thing I wanted to try and do eventually was get a website.
Look at all these things we have. Like, you can't see, but we have so much stuff in front of me. I can see myself in 3 different places.
Okay, we'll just leave it there for now. Thank you very much, Adam. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Everybody else, the same thing. We'll also say quickly thank you to Cargarnos for the Twitch Prime subscription. That money will go straight to the Nerf Herder charity for the Royal High Infirmary, and that'll be it from us for today.
Big thank you to Carl Walker. I want to shout him out live. I've been speaking to him here. He is putting this event on every year. He intends to put it on next year. It's raising money for a good cause. If you can get to Nerf Herder, come to number 4.
Obviously. And so that's it for us today. This brings us to the end of our broadcast weekend. See you all in 2 weeks from Paris. Bye. I shake hands so many times. Ladies and gentlemen, your third Nerf Herder champion, Dan Slobodian.
Thank you very much.
I said it right, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So, Dan, try and get as close to that as possible, yeah? And well done, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've won the Nerf Herder. The camera's going a bit slow. Okay, anyway, try not to look at it, Simon. How much of the pressure do you feel right now from the legacy that comes with the Nerf Herder?
To be honest, I'm pretty chill about everything in X-Wing, to be honest with you. I was just hoping to go 3-3 this weekend, so that's fine. I always just take every game one at a time, no need to outthink yourself, so that's just what I've done this weekend as well.
So let me ask you a quick question as well, because obviously to explain everything, you gave us a lift here the last 2 days.
Sure.
Are you giving me a lift home as well?
Can if you want, yeah.
Because wow, and that's like the first time I've ever gone home with a champion. I obviously, like I said to you earlier, the people I have a contact with usually do quite well, but never did I actually get the opportunity to go home with the champion. Even though it's like 3 minutes in the car, that's something I'm going to cherish for the whole life. Is that finally I got to count the champion amongst my travel party. So yeah, in that last game, you all both kind of set up to joust. It was kind of like a dismissive element to the game? It's just like, let's just see what happens. Or were you
I've got a jousting list, so I'm kind of happy when people joust me, to be honest with you, because then all my sort of area of effect stuff, with Forlom and Paylob, is all happening in the same area. So if I can keep them together, suits me just fine. So I was kind of surprised when he set up straight opposite me, but I mean, he's kind of got a jousting list too, I guess. So
kind of, yeah. Maybe not as powerful as yours.
Yeah, perhaps. I think his Boba especially is good as a good flanker, whereas I've not really got a good flanker, to be honest. So I just keep mine together and it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. And did you feel maybe that like Rasta was here at the time, and he commented that like the game was over because he stressed himself out taking a hand solo,
Sure.
whilst at range one of your forelong,
Yes,
which gave you the
absolutely.
opportunity to pass him a stress and keep him double
Yeah,
stressed.
absolutely. It's a hard choice for him because obviously you want those mods to make the most of Boba. But yeah, I think that double stress was what kind of dictated the rest of the game then, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was difficult choice to make. But yeah, I have to admit as well that my dice were incredible in that last game. So it's unlucky to Adam really that's when my dice decided to show up.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's it for now, really. I don't really have anything else to say.
Sure.
There's nothing really more to discuss. You are the champion. You get this great big wrestling belt to
Yeah.
take home. You've got to explain to your wife at home exactly what this all means.
She might be watching now. Hi.
She may well be. So yeah, it's that basically. Congratulations for having won what is the most prestigious extra official tournament in the UK calendar. Obviously, we've got the UKTC. They're both
Sure.
very highly competitive, and a lot of people go to them. But obviously, this one being a charity tournament gets a little bit more interest in it, and definitely has a lot more of the community heart behind it. It's not to say that people that win the UKTC aren't any more important, or the UKTC isn't important, but like it's different. And being that the team tournament is a different type of format, this was the first real 2.0 tournament in the UK of a high level. And you're the first real UK 2.0 champion of any level in that respect of a normal format tournament.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I'll see you in the car.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, guys, we've had a absolutely fantastic tournament. Our runner-up today is Adam. So thank you very much for it. Thank you. There is some card in there. Thanks very much. For photo for you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, what can you say for a winner? Wait to see his sister. No, I can't see him. Around here, no problems. Cheers. So obviously it's one of Kai's mats. He's got some extra cards. There's an awful lot of extra cards in there.
Very much.
And well done, you've earned it. Oh. You've earned it. Well done. I look forward to looking into a card next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
No problem.
I'm not even going to feature on it by the sounds of it.
You will be. We need you angry in the background.
Fair enough.
So, guys, thank you very much. It's been absolutely amazing. Bob, I've mentioned on the stream already, you're an absolute legend. Always are. But yeah, guys, honestly, I can't thank you enough. I'll put the official totals up later anyway. There is the possibility that people that are watching the stream may want to donate as well. But yeah. Absolutely knackered now, I don't know what you want. Buccaneers are on.
Buccaneers kick off in 35 minutes.
Excellent. Well, you'll be able to get home for that.
I will.
It takes me 2 hours to get home, but it's alright. Guys, honestly, the venue has been fantastic. It's the first time I've done it here. Tim and his team have done a really good job. It's a really, really nice, great venue. Can't thank Element Games enough. Obviously, you guys have been here for the benefit of the people on the stream. If you've never been to an event here, definitely come here. First ever store champs I went to was here. There was 56 players. My brother was rock bottom. So embarrassed he's never been back since. This is my cousin Michael. Me and Mikey, our claim to fame that day was we both finished above Tom Reed, didn't we? Who was the big guy back then. In fact, he bragged to me it's the first time I've never made a cut, but we did better than him. Seriously, it is a great venue. There is a really good team on the CBC because you are all a really good team. It's nice to see so many of you. Honestly, can't thank you all enough for what a great day you've done it for me. Like I said, I mean it when I say that I love the game. I do genuinely love the game, but I did fall out of love with it a little bit last year. But just seeing everyone here and seeing how you all are is fantastic, and that's what makes it for me. And even if I never played X-Wing again, I just ran events, I'd be happy with that because I enjoy seeing you all. I do, I really, really do, and I have made some lifelong friends out of this. I'm not even afraid to admit when I introduce like my new friends or what I could wear. What do you do? I'm just a geek. I'm a geek. But you know what? Honestly, I've made some really good lifelong friends. And honestly, thank you very much, and I can't wait to show you all photos of the children's one when you get to see what we've took in there, which will hopefully be in the next few days anyway. But yeah, thank you very much. Simon, thank you very much for the stream, buddy. Absolutely fantastic. It's the system itself's been brilliant. The registration was fantastic. I was slowing it down, trying to take you off with my old-fashioned manual list. Yeah, get out the way. Yeah, is that right? You're in. Is that right? You're in. I think we might have had a couple of players that never even paid or weren't even meant to be here. They've got registered. It's fine. The system was great. I'm looking forward to watching back all the games and the streams. I didn't get to watch a lot. I felt like I've been running around like a bit of an headless chicken. Admittedly, I've not done nowhere near as much work as the guys from Coggroads who did. They was fantastic. Nicola did. Obviously Tim did. I'm just taking credit for all their hard work, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching it all back. Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody. I can't thank you all enough. I'll see if they can take it in a bit for you. Yeah.
If I can get your interview first, because his stuff's still to be packed away.
Yeah,
in the edit, I'll just switch them around. Okay.